Hi, welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling, #SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now, near that magic 100 subscribers. Would love to hit that milestone, so please subscribe right now and keep up to date with all the latest and breaking news as and when it happens. Of course, you can like and share the video as well, and I welcome your comments in the comment section. Of course, we're talking WWE No Mercy preview and predictions then on this particular video, so I'd love to know your thoughts, your opinions, and your predictions. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know right now as you see this video. But before we get straight into the predictions, then we're going to give a little shout out to Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan. Brie Bella expecting her first child in the spring of 2017, so congratulations are in order to Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan. Of course, looking at storyline WWE-wise, does that mean Daniel Bryan will be relieving himself of the general manager role as it comes around nearer the time? We'll have to wait and see, but of course the big news there for Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan that they are going to have a little one coming into the world, so congratulations to them. But we'll move on then for WWE No Mercy. Now, personally for me, I'm very happy that this pay-per-view is back. Of course, if you're a wrestling dinosaur like me, you'll remember, of course, the famous WWE No Mercy video game on the Nintendo 64 back way back when. I believe that's going back about 16 years ago now. Yeah, it does make me feel old saying it, but one of the greatest wrestling games ever created at the time. And still to this day, I reckon it's still one of the best ones they've ever done. So, yeah, it's good to see the pay-per-view is back. It's a SmackDown-only brand pay-per-view. And, of course, SmackDown did this last time, and they did a pretty good job. But I think there will be a slight difference to this pay-per-view this time. Not saying that I don't think it will be a good pay-per-view. I think it has potential here. But I'm expecting this to definitely be a 3-hour show. Looking at it as well, we've got a lot of matches that we've seen that we could cover. Starting potentially, it's not been announced, but I reckon there could be a pre-show match added in. It's not been announced for the kickoff, so looking at it, it looks like it could be maybe the Hype Bros versus the Ascension. After what happened on SmackDown this week, the Ascension staring down at the Hype Bros and gives them something to do just to kick off. But yeah, looking at it, there would be no build to it at all. It's just simply a little match. But before I do give a prediction on this one, Mojo Rawley and that Hammer Time.
Big hammer time. Hammer time.
Oh,
Mojo Rawley busting up the move.
He's best friends with Gronk. What else do you expect? He's a lot of things.
I don't know what to make of that.
All there is not one of them.
Now, if that's being hyped, I'm not sure I ever want to be hyped. I don't know about you. Again, they're going to probably show my age a little bit, but that kind of reminds me of like American Pie, Jim Biggs doing his dance around the bedroom. That you know, with Nadia, that famous scene. That it's for me proper weird. I'm not sure I'm feeling Hammer Time at all. But given a little prediction there, I would say the Hype Bros would come away victorious in that match. We'll go on to the pay-per-view then, and to kick it off with, Kurt Hawkins is making his debut. Fact, the worst gimmick ever created. Kurt Hawkins. I'm not sure I'm buying this as a gimmick, but maybe it could be that bad that it could be quite funny. The kind of like Matt Hardy's kind of broken gimmick started off like. So maybe there could be a little bit of brilliance in there down the line. I'm not so convinced though at the moment, but Kurt Hawkins, it's not announced who he's going to actually be facing. It could be like a local jobber, a local talent, or someone very low on the card. But I'm expecting Kurt Hawkins to pick up the victory, of course, with it being his debut match. Looking next then, we'll be looking at Baron Corbin versus Jack Swagger. Now, these guys faced on SmackDown this past week, and of course Jack Swagger picking up the victory on something that was a very bizarre ending to a match they put in, and Baron Corbin crawling towards the ropes and referee deeming it as a tap out. Not only does this not work on so many levels, the fact that as well Corbin has actually been cheated and he's the bad guy in this situation, and Swagger's the good guy. The roles seem reversed. It doesn't really make too much of a creative good decision, despite the fact as well that maybe it is something we haven't seen before. But going into the match itself, I'm going to go with Baron Corbin to win this, just purely because of the fact that I think Corbin needs the victory. He's being built up as potentially someone that could be a major big deal on SmackDown, and for him to lose against someone like Jack Swagger, who is not valued and deemed as important, I think would be a very bad way to go. So I'm going to go for Baron Corbin. So next we'll look at Nikki Bella versus Carmella. Now, I can't say I'm looking forward to this match too much, but it has been heavily built up, and they are trying to do something in the women's division, so I will give WWE some credit where it is due. This does stem back to SummerSlam, with Nikki Bella making her return, but Carmella's from Staten Island, not from Brooklyn, and they've deemed it like that Nikki Bella stole her thunder. This is why the heel turn has happened, and it's been kind of going backwards and forwards a little bit, and to be honest, really, they have done a good job of trying to build Carmella up with this, and will they continue that at No Mercy? I actually think there could be a payoff here, actually in a reverse way. I'm going to go for Nikki Bella to win, because WWE doesn't always put over the new era talent, so I'm going to go for Nikki Bella to pick up the victory, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one did go to Carmella either, but for now I'm going to stick with Nikki Bella. Next then we shall look at Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Now this one has been the battle of the mind games, but for me, really, oh God, you know, it's had some moments where it's been kind of interesting, but it's been kind of boring as well. I think this feud kind of got ruined with what happened at Backlash last month, and the idea of Randy Orton couldn't compete. Then Bray Wyatt lost to Kane, and that was going to come down to an RKO after the match, which then Randy Orton wasn't deemed he was fit enough to even be in the ring. So I think this feud's kind of been ruined from that point onwards. It's kind of lost all its kind of you know, importance, and you can't take it seriously anymore, and I think that that's been the problem with it. I think it is going to come to a conclusion at this event. I don't think it's going to go any further, and as much as I think Bray Wyatt needs the victory, and I think WWE are booking him very badly, even now on the SmackDown roster, I think that they're going to give this a Randy Orton victory, and I'll be explaining why later in the video. So if you want to know why I think it's going to be a Randy Orton victory, then make sure to stick around. But next then, I shall be looking at the Tag Team Championship. Heath Slater, baby, the one-man rock band, with Rhino against the Usos. Now, a lot of people are going to be hoping that this is going to be a long tag team run for Slater and Rhino, but unfortunately for me, I think we got the payoff last month at WWE Backlash, and I think now this is kind of it's a rematch from the final of what that tag team tournament was, and I think we're going to get the reverse this time. WWE clearly putting the groundwork in this past week from SmackDown for American Alpha Usos rivalry, and for this one to have some serious importance, it needs to have the SmackDown Tag Team Championships involved in it. So Slater and Rhino haven't done much with the belts, and I think they will be dropping them this Sunday. I actually think as well, a lot of people were knocking the booking of Jason Jordan pinning, I believe it was Jey Uso on SmackDown, and for me, I think it was good booking because it helps actually put a little seed in for that rivalry that returns after this event on Sunday. So I'm expecting the Tag Team Championships to change, and then I'm expecting perhaps maybe on the road to Survivor Series, both the American Alpha and the Usos to be involved in one of these traditional Survivor Series matches, and then after that maybe we could see the final last the tag team title match between them two at the December pay-per-view, which I believe is TLC. So I'm going to go for the Usos on this particular occasion. Next, shall be looking at Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Now, I've been a particular fan of this particular rivalry. I've liked Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch the way through. They've used it to the strengths a lot of the way through. Alexa Bliss has looked strong on the mic, particularly as well with Becky Lynch as well. They've done a good job of making her feel important, actually a good challenger for Becky Lynch in this rivalry. A lot of people would say with the SmackDown roster with Becky Lynch that she's perhaps the elite and she should be winning every match, but when she doesn't, she looks weak. I kind of disagree with that. She can help elevate the women below her to bring them to sort of near her level. I think this match is going to kind of show them what's going to be a long pattern for SmackDown. I think Becky Lynch, they're all in on her, they're very high on her in WWE, and she's going to be holding that belt for a long time. So I think she's going to win against Alexa Bliss, and unfortunately from here, I don't know what will happen with Bliss after this. Maybe she might just kind of drop down on the SmackDown pecking order a bit after this, but I do think that this has been a good rivalry while it's happened. I've enjoyed it, and I do hope that Alexa Bliss carries on the momentum after this pay-per-view, but if you're going to ask me, I'm going to go for Becky Lynch. So next after this will be the Intercontinental title versus career, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, unquestionably, this is my favourite feud on SmackDown. I personally really enjoyed this feud with The Miz since they had him on Talking Smack with Daniel Bryan and doing how the Intercontinental title is the most important title on the brand and how he's being overlooked in the style of wrestling. The Miz has just been so much better on the mic, and actually I don't want to see him lose the belt. But when we flip reverse this, it is Intercontinental title versus career against Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler has definitely played this very well. This storyline, since he's gone on to SmackDown, has been very good. Now, it could actually explain a lot if this was actually Dolph Ziggler's swan song, why actually he was actually in the SummerSlam WWE Championship match, because he got one more go at the belt, and then he's gone into this rivalry to then write him off TV. So I can see that. There's been a few tweets as well from Ziggler that have hinted that this is actually going to be his last time on SmackDown. He has pictures with the likes of Charles Robinson, Renee Young, and saying how he's going to miss these guys. So I mean, technically, that could actually be a spoiler, maybe, I don't know. But then again, this could be actually being cleverly worked from Ziggler as well, actually, because if it's in character saying this could be my last SmackDown, having pictures of all these people to really make you believe and feel the emotion, even on social media. There is actually some pure emotion into this match, and there's actually some genuine feeling and reasoning into it that I do think, as an audience member, I'm going to be captivated into this match. They've put 2 matches on which actually I do believe have been a lot more better than I expected them to be as well. And now, I've always been a fan of Dolph Ziggler. I've been a really big fan of his in-ring work, and I've always said he should be better than what he was. I personally, for me, still feel he has a role to play. I think that heel turn would have been good for him at this time to have continued, and he could have continued progression up the ladder, almost like a modern day Christian with the one more match kind of feel. But at the same time, if this happens to be it, then yeah, I mean, it certainly would be a very good storyline that they wrote him out on, and that's something that you could say definitely a highlight. I mean, of course, the Miz TV this past week as well, where the Miz was giving all of Dolph Ziggler's failures of his WWE career, followed by the Spirit Squad, and when he was a caddy for Chavo Guerrero, and we actually even got 2 members of the Spirit Squad out there, actually was fantastic TV from a storyline perspective, and really, I don't know, it just put more feeling into this match. It was completely out of nowhere. You didn't see it coming, and for me, I have to give kudos for WWE for this storyline. It's been done and written to perfection, really, and if only every rivalry was booked like this one has been, I think that, the ratings and the feeling with WWE would be a lot better today. A lot more people would care and be interested in what's going on. So going then to the predictions, this is going to be the hard one, because for me, I think this could go either way. I actually wouldn't be surprised as well, because there's no divine right of saying that Dolph Ziggler couldn't win the match but not win the belt. So, I mean, there is a chance that that could happen. I did see on Taz's predictions for his Taz podcast that he's gone for Dolph Ziggler. So if we are going to go for any insider information of like that, he is not aware that Dolph Ziggler is going to leave. But yeah, it could be very interesting to see how this is going to play out. I might go with my heart over my head, because I don't want to sit on the fence, because I genuinely believe this one could go either way. So I would be quite easily expect to be wrong on this. But I'm going to go with my heart, because I've always been a guy that's wanted Dolph Ziggler to do well, and I've always wanted him to win. So I'm going to predict Dolph Ziggler to win on No Mercy. But of course, if he is due to leave WWE, then of course he's going to lose this match. So if it is, I hope that Dolph Ziggler goes out with his head held high, and I hope that he actually does put in and they have a cracking match. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if it was it. But I'm going to go for Ziggler anyway. That is my prediction. Ziggler is going to win this match on here right now. So last then we'll look at the triple threat match in the WWE World Championship, which will be AJ Styles defending against John Cena and Dean Ambrose. Now, this might surprise many, but I actually genuinely believe that this has got the potential to be a match of the year candidate. I'm really looking forward to this triple threat match, and I think this has been quite well written as well going into it for the short length of time that it's been put together. With AJ Styles, of course, the now the face who runs the place, continually mocking John Cena, to John Cena wanting a revenge and saying that he, that AJ Styles got something that's his. He wants to tie Ric Flair's record. We've got Dean Ambrose, who was cheated out of the belt as well from AJ Styles at the last pay-per-view with the low blow, and this is why he wants there. And I think as well, as an underlining rivalry as well with Ambrose and Cena, it's been pretty well done as well with this, with the talking smack and the part-timer here, and Cena kind of questioning Ambrose as well, and Ambrose has been kind of like a tweener kind of heel kind of feeling going along with Ambrose right now, but it works. It almost feels like Ambrose has freshened his act up a little bit, and he actually is getting better again, and for me that's a really good thing. I like to see this Ambrose going forward, and to me really actually I think an Ambrose heel turn really now actually does need to happen. The only problem I find with this though is that who is he going to compete with on SmackDown, that we could actually be overrun with heels more than faces, particularly at the moment as John Cena is definitely meant to be leaving for American Grit to film that season after this event. There has been as well word from last time understanding that Ambrose as well is going to be filming for WWE Studios, so he's going to be missing for a bit as well. This means for me there can only be one winner in this match, and I would have gone for this prediction anyway, I would say, but I'm going to go for AJ Styles to win this match. And I think that even though we're aware of this stuff, I think that AJ Styles, John Cena and Dean Ambrose can put on a pretty good match. And this is the reason why then I predict Randy Orton to actually get the victory against Bray Wyatt, because AJ Styles is going to need a new #1 contender to go for in the lead up to Survivor Series, which I believe we've got about 5 weeks, maybe even 6 on the build up after this to get to that event. So there's definitely some good preparation time to make this a decent rivalry and a top match for the card as well. So Randy Orton and AJ Styles I predict will be happening at Survivor Series, particularly as well because Dolph Ziggler is now in the mid-card area, because he would have been perhaps the other potential person that could have gone for Styles, but of course he could be ending his career as well. But even if he did win, he'd be the Intercontinental Champion, so I don't sort of see that going forward. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but those are my predictions. Of course, you've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Are you looking forward to No Mercy? I think it's got potential to be a good event. I think there's definitely some standout moments there. Not all the matches I'm invested in, but hopefully it should be a good card nonetheless. But you've been watching anyway, and thank you for watching. Let me know your feelings in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel right now. If there's any breaking news between now and the event, I will post that on this channel. And of course, if there's any news about TNA or anything else, then make sure that will be here also. But you've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for watching, and also look out for SCW, the wrestling podcast. Episode 34 will be posted on this channel over the weekend as well. Of course, another UK pro wrestler will be on the show once again. Vincent Andrews of the firm from Cornish Pro Wrestling and Limited Edition Pro Wrestling is in the hot seat, so look out for that also. But thank you for watching, and I shall see you here next time. Take care.